Hey guys, Lord Nick here, bringing you another video. Um, it's not particularly League of Legends related, so I kind of went into that with the intent of saying that, but it's not really. Anyhow, um, this is a update video actually, and I wanted to give you guys a quick update as to what my plans are for the near future. This includes the next week, the next couple of weeks. It's everything is kind of tentative though, so things will and oh, things might and probably will change from what I'm going to put in this video. But as of this video, my plans are releasing the podcast on Saturdays. That will be a static thing for a long time, as I have Saturdays guaranteed off for pretty much ever at my work. It's one of the few days I have guaranteed off. On top of that, ooh, sorry about that. Still have a cough, not really sick, but don't know what's going on there. On top of that, I am trying to post more YouTube videos. I am planning here in the next day or two to release another League of Legends video, be it a kind of quick guide or just another kind of offshoot random video. I have yet to decide. I have a few odd ideas into the side. I also kind of wanted to do an update on Jhin, maybe a few other champions, like Ornn or Gragas, somebody, or Ivern, the guys you get to see in my banner all the time. Ones that I all very much care about. Don't know how popular any of that might be, but I'd love to do that currently. Um, and if that's the case, I do have to do a quick research session on Gragas if that happens to be one of the ones you guys are interested in. I used to be very up to date on how to play and how to build him, but having not played him recently all that much, I hadn't had too much success recently, and he's not terribly in a terribly good spot in the metagame. I'd have to research the best way to play him, and most of them seem to be full AP Gragas from what I can get on the Gragas mains. Anyhow, I also want to get back into streaming more regularly. Now, that's going to be a bit on the difficult side for me because my schedule at work is always in a constant state of flux. And what I mean by that is that I don't have a nailed down schedule. Outside of having guaranteed Saturdays off, most of the time I'm a closer, but some weeks I'm just straight opening every day of the week. And then some weeks I have 5 days, some weeks I have 6 days. Every now and then I only have 3 days. I have a very wide sweeping schedule that is prone to changes. So that does kind of make it a little difficult to guarantee what my schedule would be looking like. There are a few other video types that I wish to potentially try to go into, and that being the case, I kind of want to put it to a vote to you guys as to if you're interested in any of these. Uh, Now, recently, I've delved way back into Magic the Gathering. I'd avoided it for a very long time. It'd been about a year or so that I'd quit the game, and I chose to get back into it. And that was kind of a mistake of mine, but not really. I mean, I still enjoy the game, so it's not a wholehearted mistake, but I don't want it to overwhelm my life like I had in the past, exceptions being on my YouTube channel, possibly. I have talked to some friends of mine, and they think me doing deck tech videos because I do some really wonky ass decks. And they think that I could do some really fun deck techs. Um, it won't be to the standard of most of the other guys that do deck techs, but that being the case, I can also do Hearthstone deck techs as well as very ad, you know, I'm very much up in the scene on Hearthstone because I still very much like to watch it, even though I don't play it much. Those are some options of things that could happen. Other than that, I could also do a podcast format for Magic where probably would be just me and my buddies playing a lot of EDH or talking about EDH and stuff like that. And then talking about specific decks, like we have a handful of really weird decks that we have each concocted over the years that we'd love to just break down and talk about the horrible stories of having to deal with some of these decks in the past. And it could be fun. If you guys have any interest in that, let me know in the comments down below. That would be awesome. So some of the other stuff that would be more in line to what I currently do on the channel would still be League of Legends related. One of them would be a coaching series. So this one requires other individuals as well. But the premise of it is I would be coaching in a one-on-one session. To get into these sessions, it'd be a low rate because I would intend on taking about 2, maybe 3 hours of coaching. And this would be something I would do on a live stream. I'd record it and just upload the entire coaching session onto YouTube. Now, individuals that are looking for this must be wary of the fact that I will probably be extremely critical of everything you do. You see, I'm a very nitpicky person when it comes to coaching and stuff like that, and management type stuff like that. I have a certain standard, and I expect you to meet said standard. If you're not meeting that standard, I will let you know, which is what allows me to potentially be a pretty solid coach overall, is because I will comb through it with a relatively fine-tooth comb. I see something that I know is an obvious mistake, I'm going to rewatch that area for a while and then go over where I think it went completely wrong for you. On top of that, I have had history in the past coaching other sports. I, like I said in the past in a previous video, I was a competitive fencer for about 3 years. During that 3 years, right after that 3 year mark, I took a small break to become a bowler for my high school bowling team, just to have something else on the resume. I then came back, and as part of the deal that I made with the then coach of the place I was fencing at, I would help coach a lot of the younger kids to get them up to par in saber fencing, and in change for him coaching me. So for about 6 months or so, I coached a lot of little kids, and so I mean I have some coaching experience. I've also had management experience. I'm only 22, going on 23, and I have a bit of experience behind me in terms of that department as well, right? Like, I have succeeded in a management position twice now. I'm currently in a shift lead position going towards a management position. So, that being the case, I have some experience in dealing with people and managing people. And then my love of League has always helped there, and then a chance to help other people get better is always something that's been on the forefront for me. And if that's something you guys are interested in, again, leave a comment down below. If you have any adaptations, leave that down below. If there's anything I haven't mentioned that you think would be very interesting from my point of view to do, leave it down below. Sorry about the cough. Lastly, as for the podcast, the Saturday podcast will continue for the near future. I have about 3 more episodes that I have fully planned the ideas for, not how I was going to say it, but because I kind of just wing it when I go and record them. If you're not familiar with what I do with it, I do for all of my videos, I sit down and I do one long talking to my microphone. And that's because, one, I am absolutely horrible at editing videos. 2, I just want to be able to make it sound more organic, right? Like, I want to have a voice that is much more organic than these choppy videos that people do. Yeah, the more edited videos have a lot more flair to them and usually will have more to it. I feel like to get across my personality, I want to just continuously ramble and dig myself into a hole by saying stupid things on my videos. So to do so, I just don't edit out the stupid things I say on my videos. Does not mean I don't try. FYI, I screw up enough on a video, I will restart the video, and it doesn't matter if I'm 30, 40 minutes into the video. I'll restart it fresh and go again. The first podcast episode, FYI, was 45 minutes long. That was my 5th take. I don't remember if I said it was my 2nd or whatever on there, just as kind of like a joke on there, but it was my 5th attempt to make that video because I kept messing up certain team rankings, and that was the closest I'd gotten to get everything correct on it. And I was like, screw it, we're keeping it. It's 45 minutes long. I've done it 5 times now. It has some quirks to it, but that's me. So the other videos I've done, I did the second one took me like 2 takes, and the third one took me, I think that was my 2nd take. Like, the first take got interrupted by my mother yelling at me to go pick up food for us, which was really funny, but also not like cool. So I cut that one and redid it, and so far, I'm liking the format of it. But that being the case, I have my ideas for the next like 2, 3 of them kind of planned and mopped out, and I kind of just wing it. I don't write down a full script. I just kind of have some small notes in front of me that I kind of remind me of what I want to talk about, and then I just talk about it. And So, as for the next coming episodes, I have those three ideas kind of bumbling around in my head. I also want to try to get guests on and start having these kind of organic conversations about normal League of Legends related stuff. If you guys have any topics you specifically want me to talk about, feel free to leave those there. And as for guests, the first couple of guests might just be friends of mine, but I do have a few connections still to some older League of Legends pros, guys that used to be pros and stuff, and I might be able to get some of them on. That might be some string pulling, and I might commit myself to too much trying to do so, but I'm going to do my best to try and get some of them on here. Um, I have also one of my good friends happens to be very good friends with a academy player right now, and so while he may not be the biggest name under the sun, he is still a well-known enough person that I think I could get him on here, and it would still be interesting, seeing as he has a lot of experience with the scene. Um, Tell me if you guys are interested in any of those, except for the last one there. The last one's there, of course. I'd imagine people would be interested if I get some type of old guard league players on here. But that's going to be some really hard string pulling, and might be a while before I'm able to do that. Um, Otherwise, if you have any other ideas, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching all the crap that I put out there. I appreciate every single one of you. Hope to see you guys on my streams if I continue to do them more regularly. And I hope to see you guys at the next video. And as always, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful day.